Seattle's a beautiful part of the world to live. It rains a lot here, though, so when the sun comes and the spring starts to smell in the air, I dream of getting away from the city, getting away from the lights, the noise, and I start reflecting a lot on the past track season and looking forward to what is coming, both on the track and also in the twisty mountains that surround this beautiful place. It really is a beautiful place, and now the spring is in the air and the summer's here. I'm definitely looking forward to that drive to the track, the drive that gets me to the mountains and out of the city, gets me back to the place that brings me a lot of joy when I'm not with my family and friends. And that's the racetrack. Whether I'm on my Ducati or my smaller Aprilia, it doesn't matter. They just both manage to fit in the back of my van. And once that van is loaded up, I point it south towards the Ridge in Washington State, which is one of the premier racetracks here in the US. Not as famous as others, but premier still. Once the bikes are packed, it's time to wake up to that beautiful smell of the track, eggs, sausages that are too bad for me, and the track season begins in earnest. So we're here at the Ridge in Washington State, which is my local track, and it's been a really wonderful few days with my favorite track time organization, actually called Track Time. That's tracktime.bike if you're interested in checking them out. And the thing I love about this track is because it's in the Pacific Northwest, you get such a mix of weather conditions. So you're forced to learn how to ride in the colder weather, the rainy weather, and then it gets over 100 degrees here as well in the summer. So all sorts of different conditions for all sorts of different skill sets you might want to be building. Now, today I've been riding my Panigale V2, which is my only leader bike that I have, and I've been working my way into finding the right feel for this bike, because I've always ridden on smaller bikes like my RS660 here, and this is actually the Trofeo edition. It's a twin, dramatically less powerful than my V2 Panigale, an amazing, capable bike. Now, recently I reviewed the new V2 Panigale, and it's an incredible bike. This is the so-called old Panigale now, and the characteristics you'll notice are single-sided swing arm. But other than that, it's pretty much nothing like the street bike that it was before it got a new body and set of track-oriented machinery. So, rear sets by Woodcraft, full race system by Toomey, a Suda clutch hidden underneath that GB Racing protector, full track controls, lap timer, GP suspension, front fork cartridges, and this is also running Öhlins, but not just any Öhlins. These are the TTX Öhlins. Now, in many ways, I suppose you could say that the closest version of this that was ever available on the street was the Bayless edition, but even the Bayless edition wasn't as well spec'd as this. So I'm also wearing a Meteor suit, which I paid for. They're not sponsored me in any way, and I love their suits. So I'm going to quickly visit them, go and say hi. So I'm here on my really fancy little Honda motorcycle. I'm going to see if it's called a Moto Compacto, and what I'm really curious about is if I'm about to trail brake hard into turn 8A and then get to the maximum of limit as I head into 8B. But for now, I'm just going to start in the paddock. So it's a pretty nice paddock, beautiful day here in the Pacific Northwest. I've had 3 track days so far this season. It's still pretty early in the season, and it's not raining, which is nice. The first few track days we had some rain, so I had to work on some of those fundamentals, which is always fun. I see a Meteor's flag flying over there, so I'm guessing that they're there right now.
get a suit, sir?
Well, actually, I already have a suit. And funnily enough, there's this company, a funny, like, Swiss name, like Mittius or something. Oh, Mittios. What are two people from Switzerland doing at a place like this?
How we got here?
Yeah, how did two... Do you mind if I use your seat?
No, you go ahead.
So, you guys are both from Switzerland, right?
Yes, we are, and it was always my dream at some point in my life to live in North America, especially in Canada. We traveled a lot to Canada, and I loved it so much. And for all of my life, I said, when I turn 50, I'll be here.
Oh,
so here I am.
So we're about the same age then. And this is Patrick. And Patrick, tell me what you do.
Right now, we do Mythos Racing North America. So as you already explained, we do Mythos custom-made, made-to-measure custom leathers. We measure on a guide. We measure like 34 measurements to guarantee the perfect fit. And there is design options, like you can choose from our website 8 different templates. You can play around on the color configurator. You can choose your options in terms of inner armors, airbag compatibility. It's all customizable, so you can play around and build your own suit. We help you with every step, or in terms of design, you can go full custom design, which with our designer, he would reach out to you and build custom design. But in terms of measurements, it's all made to measure, no matter what the design is.
And what are these strange contraptions?
Those are the straps we need to put around the guy. We measure. The red one will go around his waist, the blue one will go around the upper thigh, and the yellow one will go around his knee. Those are our marks where we measure to in terms of torso and legs, so we can exactly measure and make the best possible fit.
You're going to need a lot of those red ones for my waist, because I have a big waist. Oh, who's this young lady?
One is more than...
Who's this young lady up here?
This is my wife, Andrea.
Oh, it's a family business. Yes, there you go. And you're a Swiss too?
Yes.
Do you like chocolate?
Yes.
Swiss people like chocolate, yeah?
The best chocolate.
Yeah, and watches. And you like watches too?
Watches, yeah.
Watches and chocolate. Hey Mallory.
Hi.
We're not going to bother too much because she's training for WCR around here on an R7, and I told her that if she could keep up with me, that I'd get some video of her and maybe send her some feedback and a few areas she could work on.
I would really appreciate that.
Yeah. Like you're apexing way too late in 8B, and your drive up the hill to 9 is really bad. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll work on it. Thank you, Coach.
So the morning riders briefing is really important, and all track day organisations do this. It's really important you attend because every track has different nuances and different areas that you need to keep an eye out for. And especially if you're a new rider, really important to go and meet the folks that do such a good job running these track days and understand and learn from them. It's a really important thing, and most track days won't let you on the track unless you have a riders briefing meeting sticker on the front of your bike.
So there's a few things
now, track time
you can
do a excellent briefing, and then once that briefing is done, you break out into your various groups, whether it's A, B, C, everyone's a little bit different, and you'll get very specific briefing for your group and the riders you're riding with.
If you fall down, get away from your bike. We have control folks out there in the booth. They'll come pick you up, assess the bike. If you can.
So tracktime.bike, the organisation that I ride a lot with in Washington State, also offer seminars. They're generally part of the cost of the track day, pretty much free, and they're riding instructors, most of which are very well trained, will then do free seminars at lunchtime. So this is Don Williams, who runs the marshals and instructors for Track Time. He's a Yamaha Champ School certified instructor, very, very good. He's given me many tips over the years, and he's just doing a free seminar here, and this is on vision and reference points. So just one of many things that A lot of organizations have, and if they don't offer seminars, it's just always great to see what they do offer. Sometimes if you're brand new to the track, just having someone to follow around and show you the lines is a really good place to start if you can't afford instruction from one of the big schools or one of the instructors on the day.
Leads onto this back straightaway. There's a tree I call the bikini tree up there. It's the exit reference, and I call it bikini tree because it's got a top and a bottom and no midsection. And now that you've heard that term, you'll find it, I promise you. Now look down at your hands. Stare at the apex and catch the marker. You can't do it, right? So looking really, really far ahead, or looking right down at the apex and staring at it, you can't see the rest of the corner, you can't see what else is going on. Now catch the marker. Stand forward, look back, stand back. Well, he sucks at catching, but still.
His hands are in the area.
So, stand back, look forward, stand back. And you can practice this in the pit. This is very cheap.
Okay, so as I mentioned, this is the Ridge Motorsport Park in Washington State, and a few of the groups have already been out. I'm in the A group, which is going out next, and so we're going to make our way typically to the pit lane. Most tracks, the pit lane is super clearly marked, and then once you get there, you'll see the group you're in, and they'll just give you a check just to make sure you have the right stickers on the bike, that you've been through inspection, all that sort of stuff, and then we head out for a ride. So, what's the most important thing when you're at the track? Well, if it's your first time at the track, the most important thing you can do is focus on a great, predictable, consistent line. Look for those apex markers. Understand what an apex looks like. Really make sure that when you're riding that you're as predictable as possible. Don't focus on speed, focus on predictability. Now, I'm not a coach. I'm mid-pack A group old fat guy, but what is most important you'll see here is that I'm hitting pretty much all of my apexes. Now I'm not going to use this as an instructional video, but my line is consistent. I'm hitting my apexes. Whoever's behind me understands that I'm on line, and if you're worried about what that means, then have a marshal take you out. Marshal could take you out, show you the line, work on the line, focus less on speed and focus on that predictable line. I see a lot of new riders hit the track, and some of them go pretty fast, but they miss every single apex. They should be relaxed on the bars, and the bike should be doing all of the work as opposed to you doing all the work. So as I said, I'm not a coach. Take it for what it is. I've interviewed a lot of coaches on my channel, on my podcast. You should go check out some of those podcasts. If you can't afford coaching, a master will take you out. If you can afford coaching, I highly recommend it. It will make life a lot easier for you as you get faster and these parts of the track start coming at you faster. Understanding those fundamentals is going to be really, really important as you learn the track. And most of all, have a learner's mindset and get out there and have some fun. So that's it from me. Just a quick glimpse into what a typical track day looks like for me here in the US early in the season. Some of this video was shot a few weeks back. Since then I've done a number of track days, and I hope this is useful content for you. Really not trying to be a coach, not trying to pretend to be some kind of expert, but I've done a lot of track days. I really enjoyed them. They're a lot of fun. I love the community. I love the people that run them. I love the shared sense of excitement that we all have on the track. And if you go to the track with a learner's mindset, you go to the track really wanting to learn, I know that you'll have a really great time. As always, give me feedback on the content, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye.